Yo, what's up, and welcome back to Tryhard Nation. As always, I'm your host, the omegatryhard, and today I have a hopefully quick video for you. I just want to go over the Community Choice Champion update poll and give my opinion. So let's jump into it. So, hopefully this video is going to be really quick. I tend to ramble a lot, so I'm trying to work on it, but yeah. If you don't know, there's a poll going on right now where you can vote for the next champion to get updated between Thor, Jane Foster, Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, Joe Fixit, Ant-Man, Guillotine, and Agent Venom. If you look at the poll, like numbers and stuff right here, you can see Ant-Man is currently in the lead with Guillotine and Agent Venom behind him by actually no, it looks like Thor, Jane Foster took Agent Venom over. So Agent Venom is going to be in 4th place. So we're going 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th with Miss Marvel in dead last. I'm going to be voting for this magnificent man right here, partially because I'm biased. He's arguably my favorite character in all of Marvel, just depending on what day you ask me. I think he's really cool. I think the symbiote characters have a lot of potential to be really cool and really powerful in this game. If you look at all the ones that are currently in the game, between Venom, Venom the Duck, Carnage, who else? Red Goblin. They might not be the strongest characters in the game, but they have their uses and they are very fun to play. They're very satisfying. They feel powerful, even though they might not be. So that's the main reasons that I'm going to be voting for him. But before I go into the rest of that, let's just go ahead and jump right over here into the other champions and let's see why I don't think they're worth the vote. So for Ant-Man, I think he should be the last person that you vote for, even though apparently everybody is ignoring me because he is currently number 1. But I think he's probably the most useful character on the entire list. The reason is, even though he's weak on his base kit, he has good synergies that can make him usable, and he has a spot on the most important and strongest team in the entire game with the Ghost Trinity. The Ghost Trinity in itself brings him value just because he's a part of it. So even if you're not going to use him, he still makes Ghost stronger and Wasp stronger, and yeah, he's going to have a spot on a team. So if you get him as a 5 or 6 star, it might not be the most exciting pull, but it's still going to be a good pull as if you're a player who uses Ghost, because he's just going to kind of future-proof your teams for the future. So you can use him in Act 6 and any other like Star-gated content that comes in the future. So my vote, anybody but Ant-Man. Anybody. He's the most useful. He's the only one on the list that you can pull and you'll be like, alright, it's not exciting, but I'm happy with it. Because again, in the future, it'll have some value for you. Next on the list is Guillotine. Guillotine, in my opinion, shouldn't even be considered right now. There are way more characters out there that need buffs over her. She's a pretty strong character, or not pretty strong, I guess. She's a good character on her own. She does pretty strong bleed. She can heal reverse. She can regenerate on hits, which is a very rare ability to have in this game. So she has that utility to deal with nodes like Flare and other things that acquire degen, because she can just heal it. Yeah, so she's pretty strong by herself, as well as having some pretty decent synergies. So again, no shot, no Guillotine. I don't know why she's on the list. This should have been given to Groot or to King Groot or a bunch of different characters that are way weaker that you are always upset to pull when you get them. Guillotine doesn't meet that requirement. Next is going to be Thor, Jane Foster. She's a tricky pick because I think she's really strong in Act 4 and earlier, when they don't have the enemies don't have access to special 3s, because she can fairly consistently like stun lock them for like 15 to 20 seconds, and if you're duped, you're going to be pumping out a lot of damage in that time because of the guaranteed crits. She has decent synergies, not the most impactful, but like this one makes it her shocks last longer, which means you can keep them stun locked for longer. And she does have her uses because she also applies staggers on her heavy attack, so she has a really quick way to deal with buffs. Is she the strongest character in the game? No, but she does has her uses, and she's a character that if you get her early on, you can use her to pretty good success. So again, I don't think she should be getting this. We should be using this time and these polls to make bad characters good instead of making good characters better. That's just my opinion on it. Next, we're going to look at Kamala Khan. Kamala Khan has some very unique utility that she can get through synergies as well as on her base kit. So like a lot of people don't know that she can nullify buffs on the opponent if she has 3 or more furies, as well as she has a synergy that can give her armor breaks, which help in a lot of different nodes and a lot of different matchups, as well as easy access to increase duration and potency on already good characters. So if you're not sure if she's at the very least a good character, just look up gameplay on Sweeta, I don't know how to say his name, but he does very end game content with her to great success. She's a pretty decent character in the right hands. So at the very least, she's usable. You can get her from a crystal, and while she might not be exciting, you can use her if you're early on in the game or something like that. Now these next 2 polls I think are the ones that you should be voting for, and Joe Fixit and Agent Venom. Why? Because they have basically no redeeming qualities. Joe Fixit has no good synergies, he doesn't have high prestige, he doesn't have unique utilities. The only thing he has going for him is he has a very interesting and unique kit with the card system, but as far as I know, it's completely random, and the number values aren't even that great. So even if you do something as simple as just making all of his cards a persistent charge at the beginning or a pre-fight ability at the beginning that you can activate, that immediately makes it a lot better because you can control it. And if you up these numbers and make them like passive or something like that, or make them have different interactions with his special abilities, so like let's say you get into the hearts and you gain health, and the special 1 applies a heal block and the special 2 applies a heal reversal, like that alone is such an easy tweak, and it makes him so much better. But in the current state of the game, there's no redeeming qualities to pulling Joe Fixit. He's not cool, he doesn't have cool animations, he doesn't feel satisfying to play. His kit is very interesting, but it's very underwhelming. He doesn't do anything particular, he doesn't have good synergies again. Just, you pull him and you instantly get mad because there's no redeeming qualities. And the same thing kind of goes for Agent Venom. The only thing he has going for him is damage, but his damage, even if you add up the base attack and max sig of a 6-star rank 3 character, his combined stats of what is that, like 3,800, is hardly stronger than other characters. So let's just go over to Aegon. He has 3,400 just right out of the gate. So a basically maxed out Agent Venom only has 400 attack over Aegon, or 450 attack over Immortal Abomination, or 500 attack over Abomination. Like, what? There's no reason for that. His big thing is damage, and he hardly offers that. His Kalintar Rage also gives a very minor crit damage rating, but at max sig 110 crit damage rating, that's what, like a 2% increase max? That's nothing. You get more from that from masteries, in a single mastery point probably. The only 2 redeeming things about him are his ability to purify debuffs and reduce evasion chance, but the fact that this is only 50% and it's only for evasion, it's not like a flat ability accuracy or defensive ability accuracy reduction is kind of disappointing, because if you know anything about this game, even if a character has like a 2% chance to evade, they're gonna evade a lot, and 50% just honestly doesn't cut it. The Purify is good, it comes in handy a lot, but at a 70% rate, a lot of those debuffs are going to be getting through to you, so you can't even reliably use him for things like Biohazard or Caltrops or something like that to deal with the debuffs. If you just tweak this to give him more attack or more crit damage and crit rating, or maybe while this is active, you add all of these abilities into it, but it's stronger. So maybe it's a 100% chance to purify debuffs, or maybe you can give it a unique ability where he's the only character in the game that can get rid of passive debuffs or something like that. Like something as simple as that, tying that utility up into his signature ability and then pumping it up can bring him way, way, way up in the tier list. And again, there's so many things that if you play on the lore of the symbiotes, you can do a lot of different, very interesting things with this. He has no real interesting or good synergies. The best thing he has is probably this one here, which increases his bleed damage. But his bleed damage is only 6,700 at a maxed out 6-star. That's basically nothing. I'm pretty sure that's less than Nick Fury's light attack bleed, which is way easier to proc and doesn't use special. It's just he has nothing good going for him. The counter against voting for Agent Venom is the skill class has gotten a lot of love recently. There's a lot of strong characters in there, so I guess I can understand that. But again, if you're gonna vote, I would say vote for 2 of these, because you want to use these opportunities to make bad characters good, not good characters better. Just my opinion. But that's going to be it for this video. This went way longer than I thought it was going to be. I legit thought this was going to be like a 5-minute video. But yeah, thank you guys for the support, for clicking, liking, disliking, commenting, subscribing, all of that. I really appreciate it. It means the world to me. But in the meantime, I love you, be safe, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.